Saraki, Osinbajo meet behind closed doors as presidency exposes Senate's alleged plot to unseat acting president. Nigeria's Senate President, Bukola Saraki held a secret meeting with acting President Yemi Osinbajo. Saraki held discussions with the acting president on developments that occurred in the upper chamber, which includes threats of impeachment by some senators. Following the president's absence, a point of order was raised to make Saraki acting president. In a report by Sahara Reporters, Nigeria's Senate President, Bukola Saraki on Thursday night, July 6, held a secret meeting with acting President Yemi Osinbajo. NAJ.com gathered that the Saraki's meeting with the acting president was based on developments that occurred in the upper chamber during the week, which includes the suspension of consideration of further nominations by the executive in protest against the retention of Ibrahim Magu as the acting chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, and the consequent threats of impeachment by some senators. On Thursday, July 4, a point of order was raised, that Saraki was the acting president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. The senator representing Abia South, Inanya Ibrahim, had raised a motion that the country had no president or acting president at the moment, adding that President Muhammadu Buhari and Professor Yemi Osinbajo were neither in the country, as at the time. It was reported that a Saraki-led group and also Rock group led by Isa Funshu allegedly met in Saudi Arabia to discuss how to hijack presidency from the acting president, Yemi Osinbajo. A source speaking with the online medium said, the Senate president met with the acting president. He actually came alone and without the paraphernalia of his office to underscore his commitment to rapprochement between the executive and the National Assembly. Saraki took the time to explain a few things to the acting president, but the talks bordered on the clarification of a few misgivings, especially the rumor that he was planning to become the acting president or instigating the Senate against the presidency. He also took time to explain why the Senate wanted its resolutions respected in line with the principle of separation of powers. Above all, the session was actually frank. Saraki's visit to Aso Rock was preceded by that of the national chairman of the All Progressives Congress, APC, Chief John Adeji Oyegun on Wednesday night, July 5. Oyegun was said to have reached out to the Senate leadership, asking them to prevail on warring senators to tread softly so as not to plunge the nation into unnecessary crisis. Some past leaders have reportedly teamed up with the acting president against the threats from the Senate. These leaders have told the acting president to remain focused and ignore elements trying to cause political upheaval in the country. In fact, they assured Osinbajo of their support. These are leaders who the government thought had identified with the Senate, a presidency source said. The presidency source added, although the president of the Senate, Dr. Bukola Saraki, told the party leadership that the impeachment kite caught him unawares and he swiftly overruled the senators behind it. Intelligence report indicated that it was a kite-flying agenda by some senators. The government does not wholly believe the defense of the Senate leadership. It is closely monitoring events and putting safety valves in place, including legal dimension. Part of the intelligence report showed that some senators had plotted the impeachment script before the Tuesday session. Those who tabled the motion were actually not aware that the acting president had returned to the country. According to an earlier report by NAJ.com, The Nigerian Senate gave 4 requirements via its official Twitter handle on which the upper chamber is hinging its threats of impeachment. One of them is that Osinbajo must respect the constitution and laws enacted by the National Assembly as relating to the confirmation of nominees.